It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it is a Wealth Wednesday. Stacey Tisdale is here, my Wealth Wednesday partner.
Happy Wealth Wednesday, everybody. We're going to take you way up, and we are so excited.
Oh, and Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here also.
Jasmine,
Yes.
the trifecta.
And yes, and listen, this is going to be a fun interview. We have a lot of questions, and I know our audience is going to love it. I love this one, but Brooke Jones is here. What's up, Brooke? And Grand,
What's up?
your business partner.
What's going on?
Yes.
That's my manager.
Okay, your manager.
Yeah.
Manager.
Okay.
Man, these ladies are beautiful. I wasn't ready for this.
So, Brooke, you're from New Orleans.
Yes.
Which we could hear when you talk, which I love. Okay.
They told me don't tone it down. I said I was going to come in here and try to tone it down.
Nope, don't tone
No,
it
you
down.
got to be yourself.
And that's what we love about you. And
When have you toned it down ever? Don't start now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not about to
Okay.
tone it
And
down.
listen, I think, let's start with that lesson, being yourself and how important that is. Because sometimes we do try to tone things down, and you have such an interesting story, and you actually had to learn how to embrace your own story.
Yes, because I tried to tone it down a bunch of times, and it didn't work for me. Like, I can't be myself if I'm not myself. So a lot of companies I work with, they was like, we need to become a little more conservative. We need to turn it down. You need classes, etiquette. And I'm like, well, I got this far from being me, so let me be me.
Right.
So, yeah, that's how I think being me is the reason why, I became successful. It's
And
kind of different.
and telling your story and standing by it, because I feel
Yeah.
like that makes things a lot more relatable for people, right? Because
Right.
you try to act like you're not somebody who you are. So let's talk about who Brooke Jones is. Because you do have a book, From Barrios to Boss. It's a fictional novel, but it's based on real stories.
Yeah,
It's
based on true
really
story. My
closely
life,
based
actually.
on your story.
Yeah, my whole life. I started off when I was like 12, I want to say. I went that far back.
And I don't want to be a spoiler, but you've got to start by saying, how did Mookie turn into Brooke?
Mookie turned into Brooke after my last run to prison. After my final run to prison, I'm like, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of this. I have to change. Because my last run, I was away from my kids.
Right.
Yeah, I had 3 boys. And I have all my kids have different fathers. So when I went to jail, they was just scattered around. And they was so hurt. They was like, so I felt it. I missed a lot of moments that I never missed because I never was around my children more than a weekend. So it took a big toll on me. And Mookie was the girl that always got in trouble.
Right.
She was the hustler. Like, Brooke, still a hustler, but the legal way. Mookie, she didn't care about anything.
How do you think you became a hustler at such an early age?
My mom left. My mom left me when I was like 16. She got she was a single parent of 3 girls, and she met a man. She never had time for herself. It was always us. My dad was always incarcerated. So she finally went somewhere, met a man, and like, girl, bye. Stella got her groove back.
Right.
And she left, and I was the youngest. I'm the baby of the 3 girls. And she left, and I was 16, and I was like, I got to figure this out. I gotta make it happen. So I started dating older guys because they had money. And I got my first job when I was 15 at McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, and ever since then I've been hustling. Whether it was legit, the legit way, or the illegal way.
Right.
I just had to make it happen. And I found myself doing more illegal things once I had kids because I couldn't see them suffer the way I did. So
that was
it
really
was by any means.
It was really like, I gotta take care of my boys.
Yeah.
And whatever
I'm
I gotta
all they
do to
have.
make that happen, we're gonna
By
make it
any
happen.
means.
But you were super smart, too, because I was reading a story about you, and you had that aha moment. You're just like, I've spent so much time in prison just by myself that I realized if I take the skills that I've been using hustling and apply it to something else, I still got those skills.
Man,
That
you was
final-
really reading that book, huh?
Yeah, I'm loving that because you're telling me about the book, and normally people be like, I have to read it. But yeah, my last run, it got it out of me. I cried daily. For 62 days, I cried. And I never knew, like, I found Jesus even more. Like, I found myself. I found myself. I even recognized who my children were, my life, my purpose. I found everything. And then I realized it was a reason behind God sitting me down. I needed to. Because if that wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have got this far because I was young. I was reckless. I didn't have any goals. Where I'm from, nobody make it hardly ever. You don't see success stories. So the last run was like, I would rather be broke under the bridge. I don't know if y'all been in New Orleans, but you did.
Yeah.
And under the bridge is where a lot
I
of homeless-
actually was under there helping give out food and
Yes,
everything.
I would rather be
Yeah.
there with my kids than in a cell, just while they out fending for themselves.
Right.
I even got a call home, and my oldest son, a female lady tried to hit him, and I'm like, I'm not even there to protect my babies.
Ooh, that
So I
has to
was-
be the
it's
worst
so
feeling in
much-
the world, to feel helpless.
So much was going on. I was like, I can't do this to them again. So
Right.
that was my major change.
How supportive were their fathers? Because you have 3 sons, 3 different dads. Were they at all involved?
No. My sister is. Shout out to DeWanda. That's my sister.
Mm-hmm.
My sister helped me when mom left. It was me and my sister. So my sister always took care of me. She was working. I'd sit home with her kids, take care of her kids.
Right.
So now she does the same thing with mine. So she helped me with my kids. But it's a moment. She had 4 kids and 2 grandkids. And it was a moment of, I have all 3 of your kids. I'm going crazy.
Yeah, that's a
So
lot.
she was
That is a
going
lot.
crazy.
That's a lot.
Shout out to
And-
DeWanda.
in a small apartment. So she have all her kids, she have all mine, and mine were smaller at the time. Toto was 1. So it was like she was overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and she needed help. So she had to separate them because
Yeah.
she couldn't
do
control
it.
it. She couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So the only father that was like in my son's life was my second son, which is Bryce, but he live in Houston.
Okay, so
That's like kind of difficult. Like it's like taking my baby away. Like he waiting in Houston, I can't even see him. Like I couldn't even talk to him because his dad wouldn't put calls on the phone. So he was in Houston. My youngest was by my mom, and my oldest nobody wanted him. So DeWanda kept him.
Okay.
So DeWanda had held him down. So they was just everywhere, and I was just getting feedback from everybody, and it wasn't good. Like I wouldn't have my children this way or that way, certain type of ways. So I was like, I have to change.
I always feel like people who have that hustle mentality, whatever it is that you're doing, if you can apply it in the right way, you can figure out a way to make
Yes,
money,
I'm like-
which is what you've done, because the Hidden Vault, right, which is your company,
Right.
a multi-million-dollar brand. You started that company, and people may not even know your backstory. They just know this is a great, yeah.
Some people look at me and like, okay, she got lucky, or like it was an overnight thing, but it wasn't. It wasn't. This story been my whole life. I've been trying to come up. Like this been an ongoing story, and God finally, like, he woke me up. He got my attention, and once he got my attention, then he came with the blessing because he knew I can handle it.
And that's the
handled it.
first thing you always do is thank God, and you
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
actually say God is the
Yeah.
reason that you are even the success that you are today.
Yes, I was born and raised in the church. My grandmother raised me, and the church was right next door. She had a key to the church, so I was always in the church with her. She had the key. She was the usher. So whenever she go next door, I had to go with her. Even if I was tired, I fall asleep on her lap. But yeah, I was raised knowing about Christ, and I apply that same thing with my children.
But where'd you get those skills? And we understand where you got the motivation from. The skills, though, to build that business.
The hustling skills.
The business skills. I mean, you've done social media, branding in a very
it
deliberate
all
way.
flowed.
You started out for women only.
No, I started out men only.
Started
Well,
only-
no, women only.
women
You're right,
only. What was
you're
it
right,
called?
You're right, because it was Keep It Cute.
Keep
And
It
I was
Cute.
Like,
Keep It Cute.
Look, it was Keep It Cute.
We love that saying. Yeah.
Yep, and everybody loved this saying at the time. So what happened was, after I got out of jail, I was like, you know what? I had got my body done before I went to jail. So I'm like, well, I could be a model, an IG model. So I got out of jail and I started doing a little modeling on Instagram, and the followers built up. So I'm like, now I could sell something.
It's a lot of
But
guys.
it was all guys, and I'm selling lashes. Like I'm not making any sales. But how they say they making money and I'm not making it? So I had to change the narrative, and I'm like, I'm being biased. I'm selling to women, and they're not even supporting me. It's the men.
Right.
And the reason why the men were supporting me because I'm half naked on Instagram. So I had to stop, step back, and just think. Do what you represent. What do you represent? I call myself a sex symbol. So if I'm representing sex, I came
Let's
out
sell
with
some
sex
sex stuff.
toys.
Yeah.
So still being biased because I kept the name Keep It Cute, got rid of the lashes, and started selling purple sex toys. And my supporters was supporting, but you buy one toy, you don't really need too many.
Right.
So it was like, how
And if
are
it's a good
people-
quality to
Yeah.
it.
It was. I had Thumper.
Yeah, what did you start off with?
Yeah,
in
what
terms
was
of
the first
toys? Yeah, what's the
product?
I had a
toy?
rabbit. It was called Thumper. I had a wine. It was called Houdini.
I like the names of your products
yeah,
too.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the guy started saying, Brooke, what do you have for us? And I was like, tell me what y'all need. And when they started saying, we could use toys, we could use enhancements, we could use this. And my grandfather, he was a farmer. and he used to always mix up his little herbs and everything
Help
for
keep it-
erectile dysfunction.
yeah.
I didn't know what erectile
honey
dysfunction
pack.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was all, but it was all natural.
Right.
And I always hear the guy saying like, that honey was good, but I got a headache.
Yeah.
My chest was hurting. So it was.
I almost died from the gas station.
But I'ma keep
when I,
on.
when I researched,
Nobody gets that.
I did a lot of research, and nobody had products with no toxins, no chemicals in it. Everything had side effects and chemicals. I'm like,
That's so important because there are a lot of fruits, vegetables, herbs, things like that actually naturally can help you in many different ways, like to get
Right,
your
that's-
blood flowing, to help you have more
Yes.
energy.
that
can
maca, that
stimulate your-
jojoba, they got so many oils you can mix up, and it's all natural. And I was the first person in the United States of America with a massage oil.
Oh,
So I was like, you know
With a what?
Massage.
It's a massage oil.
Massage
Massage
oil?
Oh,
Is the energy massage oil?
okay.
That was the very
She from
first
New Orleans,
product.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't know.
Lucky I didn't say Earl.
I didn't know. Okay.
I be struggling with it because sometimes
No,
I
it's
used to say
fine.
Earl.
It's fine.
So-
Now, now let's go back to
Yeah.
you getting your body done because you also documented that. You
It
know,
looks so painful. We were looking at it this morning, the video on Instagram.
Jasmine
Y'all
was
ain't
like, "Oh
seen
my
I was like,
yet.
oh my gosh.
Wait till book 2 come out. Y'all haven't seen anything yet. Like, I lost breasts. It was
Tell
surgery is a
tell
lot.
us about that whole process because we've seen a lot happening recently in the news, and we know it's not, it's a major surgery.
Yeah,
It's
it
where a
very
lot of
major.
things can happen. So, what was your journey like?
My journey, I started in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I was selling drugs. I was like, you know what, I'm about to make a whole change. And I got my body done in 2015. I had an infection in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a scar on my stomach from the infection. An infection on my butt. And then, you just cover it up with some tattoos. But we really go through it. And a lot of people don't talk about it.
What'd
So
you get done in
I had
2015?
a mommy makeover, the BBL, the tummy tuck, and lipo.
Did you get it done in
360.
the States or you
No, I
went?
went to DR.
Okay, like
And
everybody.
that's
Yeah.
what's harder too, because sometimes they'll do things that they won't do here,
Yeah, they
Right.
take out all of that. Leave
and
you-
yeah, they'll go too far. And then also, one of my friends got an infection because she tied the wrap too tight. Around, you know how you have to keep it around you like compressed, and it was too tight, and she got an infection from that. And then the
Yeah.
medication they gave her, she was allergic to it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She literally was in the hospital for like 3 months.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
didn't think, yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 infections.
Wow.
And the hole stood open for months. I was even in prison with the
What
holes.
year was this?
This
2015.
was 2017 when I had the hole, when I was in jail.
Yep.
Yeah, like they let me keep my own laundry because I literally had a hole like about this size on my butt and in my stomach, and they didn't want it to get contaminated. So they'll let me wear my own clothes.
Did they at least send you to the doctor while you were in jail?
They used
No?
to bandage it.
Okay.
Stuff. They used to bandage it and just send me on my way. That was it. So I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was gonna die plenty of times.
Right.
But once you get the results and you get over that hump, it's like, oh, I see something else.
Right.
I'm gonna go get that
So
out
is it
too.
addictive?
It's addictive.
Okay.
Yes, it is. The moment you see a rose somewhere, it's like, I'm gonna suck that out. Why
Right.
work out when I could just get it sucked out? And I used to work out prior to opening the hidden vault, but once the hidden vault started, it was no working out for me. So I turned to surgery even more.
Okay.
One of the surgeries I had in Miami, and I had to get my whole breast off.
Wow.
Like, I'm gonna put the pictures and everything in my book too.
So was that from an infection also?
Yes.
Damn.
It was bad. That became my fiance's favorite breast. Like, he was consoling me. He was the video.
That's
y'all
how you know
seen,
that's
like,
a good man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Is that
honestly,
who was taking care of you during on the one that you put on Instagram?
Which one?
Yeah, which one you
Yeah, he's saying back
Well,
then.
it was okay. All right.
Yeah,
I think it was 2020 maybe.
Yeah, and I had got
Yeah.
pregnant and
Well,
lost the
pretty much
baby.
pretty much you have to
Yeah, I had to
everything,
have
yeah.
surgery wide awake
Right.
because I was
Oh,
pregnant.
wow.
And
Oh, my
it was an
God.
emergency surgery.
Wait, I mean, you
because-
had surgery while you were pregnant?
Yeah, because it was the emergency surgery. The implants was falling out. So I had no choice. So I had to stay woke. They only shot lidocaine in me. I felt the pain. I smelled the little burn
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
It was awful.
How
It was,
many
and I
surgeries
promised I
have
would
you
never go
had?
back again. And I just had surgery again in
Oh my
February.
gosh.
How many have you had?
And I've been swollen. I had like 4. I want to say 4 or 5. 5.
Now, could you have sued this doctor in Miami for that, or did you at least attempt
I don't
to?
know. That's the thing.
Because it feels like
I really don't know. But he was so nice. He was so nice to me. And at the time, I was making so much money, I didn't even think to even take his money. It was like the pandemic time. And
right.
everything was going. The last thing on my mind was a lawsuit. But maybe. I don't
Are you
know.
done? Are you? Are you done getting surgery, or you think you might? No, you're not.
Look, she's
Okay.
like,
I
she's
want my
like, I'm
breast
gonna
done
like.
You want your-
again.
okay.
Yeah, because the last time, like I told y'all, the implants fell out, so I had to go months without the implants. And then when I did get them, I had to get them smaller. They was bigger than this. I had to get them smaller because I had so many surgeries that the blood isn't circulating. So when the implant sits on the skin, it don't circulate blood and cause it to open. So that's
What
how I
advice
lost.
would you give to women now who are like, I want to get my body done too? If you could say,
I have
this
a
is,
friend that's out there right now. She want her breast done, and I told her, don't. You're going to get the scars. You may get infections. Like, you trading the sag for scars. You trading...
but that's hard to say because you're still getting it, right? And
I'm addicted. Honestly, I am.
Do you want to get unaddicted?
Yeah.
Have you
Next
gotten?
show, next show,
She said,
next
yeah,
show.
maybe not. Have you gotten anything done to your face?
No, but I did get fillers.
Okay.
I did. I
Okay,
did. I
that's-
want my nose done so bad, but nobody...
I don't
I
think
like
you
your
know that.
nose.
No,
No.
Everybody
No,
talking me out
stop.
of it, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to touch
Why
my
is
face.
this still important when you're this successful businesswoman?
And
you
beautiful.
You
Because I'm
making
the
all
face
this
of my
money.
brand. And I just had a baby 9 months ago.
Okay.
but you already look amazing.
Yeah, you look good.
amazing. You
That's-
have this amazing business.
And
It's
I
like-
also feel like people don't want perfection.
I'm
Like,
starting to think that.
because
I think we're going back to the old trend.
because
of
even your whole
smaller
life
booty.
hasn't been perfect, right?
No,
And so
far.
going along with that theme of people wanting what's real and relatable, because I feel like sometimes with everybody getting so much done, everybody kind of looks.
The same.
The same. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And I'm starting to hate the way I look in suits. So when I'm trying to get dressed up and look all bossy and conservative, it's like my back sticking out. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had a flatter butt. But when I lose weight, I do lose my butt because I
Right.
have BBL instead of
Because we have
injection.
Black China up here, and you see, well, Angela now.
Angela,
She goes by her real name now. But she got a lot of stuff reversed, you know.
Yeah, I
that-
see a lot of women are getting it reversed.
So all I'm saying is just take a moment. You know, just take a moment.
yeah.
And I want to, because we talked about what's real, and you actually learned to you said you used to wear those wide-legged pants to hide
To hide
your
my
ankle
ankle
monitor.
monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
and
then
then I
you
learned to
realized
embrace
that,
it.
yeah, people really
'Cause I was
started
like,
following you
The
because
wide-leg pants wasn't in.
you were taking them sexy pictures with your ankle monitor
Right.
on. But people appreciate things like that
They
and
did.
your whole
They was
entire
like,
story.
They started saying I was like real. Like they was like, she's so real. Like who does that?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, in 2017, you really didn't see that.
right.
Yeah, it was 17. You really didn't see that. So you see a vixen, a IG model on Instagram, and you know she did something wrong because she got an ankle monitor on. So everybody was like, I had everybody attention because they wanted to know. But at the time, I just couldn't say because the case was still open. And it was a lot that
Right.
I couldn't speak about that I can speak about now. But yeah, that's what draw all the attention to me was that ankle monitor. More than the boobs and the breasts, it was the monitor.
Yeah.
That's something different.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
ask. I know you went from lashes to I know you don't call them sex toys. Intimacy. What do you call these intimacy
Well,
products?
they started as sex toys in an adult line,
Okay.
but it became way more than that over the years. And it was one comment, a review that made me change the whole narrative on the adult
What was
line.
it?
Adult line.
It was a guy. He left a review, and a 5-star review at that, and he said that he was contemplating suicide. His sex life was awful. His wife
Sex life
about-
was driving him.
his wife was about to leave him, and
That'll
before
do it
he
to you.
started using
Yeah.
hidden vow, he was contemplating suicide. And I was like, "Is this a joke?" Like I didn't even, take it that serious or believe
yeah.
it. But I'm like, if the hidden vow could do this for somebody's life, then it's more than just an adult line. It's
Right.
it's health and wellness.
Well, and sex
Because-
is important.
Sex is a
Yeah,
lot
and
more.
Yeah,
Sex
but
is a lot more than
it's
just
so
in
taboo.
love
Like
and-
nobody
Yeah.
talks
in
about
life.
it.
And I feel like people are, and like you said, nobody talks about it. And part
Yes.
of the reason why we do that podcast, Lip Service, is because people are scared to have conversations about sex.
Yes, and
And-
it was very hard to get the hidden vow off the ground for those very reasons.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, where did you come up with the money for like
Income
when you
tax.
income tax? Okay, so the last what? No, that's a question. Like
Yeah.
people want to start a
So I
business,
had
they don't
the
have any
idea,
money.
But I had to wait on those taxes, girl. I'm like, you know what? Normally I'll go get my kids something, bring us out of town,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. This year I'm gonna sacrifice and I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna invest in my business. What do I gotta lose?
Okay.
I'm like, if anything go bad, I'll just sell it for $1, sell it for whatever I bought it for, and just get that money back and move on. But I just had so much confidence, and I prayed. I asked God to put me in a position of winning. If He did that, I made Him a promise that I'll tell the world about Him, and I haven't stopped yet. So
When did you first see a profit? Because a lot of times people start businesses and it can take a long time. And it's hard for people. They always come to me and look, I have several businesses. It's taken a long time to even out. So for you, how long was that process to where you were able to be like, okay, well, now I can sustain myself and actually see money coming in?
Immediately.
Wow.
How long?
Immediately.
She said immediately.
Immediately,
From the
'cause-
lash. No, from the line, the sex toy line. That's
The hidden vault?
The hidden vault was
Immediately.
immediately.
You just
Okay.
started this in 2019.
Immediately, May
And-
10, 2019. And
But it's-
my first, I started off with just 100 because we was making them in the kitchen. So it was just 100. And they sold out immediately. And I took that and I invested into promo. So I got this girl, she had like 16 million followers.
Ooh.
And she charged me $2,500, $2,800.
Okay.
To say that, to put her name on the brand and say, promote it as, a good brand to use. And I sent her the his and hers for her and her husband, and she made a video about it. And
Wow.
I made, off of 5 minutes of her posting, I made $8,000 and then a website crashed.
Talk more about that, because you are known as someone who used the influencer market and can teach people how to market and to teach people how to
Yeah.
use influencers. You're
So-
like,
I went after
Badass
all
in
the
that.
vixens.
How
Like
did
I'm
you
like,
do
that?
at
That makes
first-
sense.
Yeah, at first I was the only brand ambassador. Me, I started. I'm like, I have 100,000 followers. I'm gonna promote this brand. And once I seen I did all I could do, I'm like, you know what? I have to go after the girl that's in the same field as me. So I started getting the influencers with millions of followers, but the ones that was showing their body on Instagram. For the reason why I knew I needed those, because if you're showing your body, I show mine. I did. Your male, you have a lot of male followers, and at the time, I only had a male product.
Right.
So once they promoted it, and once they started using it, the feedback was crazy. We had 98% of return customers. Like our customers on subscription.
And that's important, right? So you invested in an influencer, but you also had a product that people like. Because
Yeah.
what's the worst is when you invest, but your product ain't ish.
Right.
That's not going to happen, but it has to start with an amazing product.
Yeah, because they'll buy it one time for support. I mean, just because they
Just to try it,
they
yeah.
just want to see if
They-
it works.
they wanna see what the
But
hype is
once
about.
they see that it working, it really, really works. It works.
And then how were you able to keep up with the demand? Because that's
Oh.
another issue. Once people start something and they don't know
Sustaining, yeah.
how, like you said, the
Sustaining the
website
business.
crashed.
Oh man,
And you were making it in the kitchen.
I took a lot of losses. One time for my birthday, we had a birthday sale and we had over 5,000 packages, and the post office lost all of them.
What?
Are you serious?
Yes.
How the hell does
how
that
did they lose
happen?
them?
I think because the hidden vault became so popular in such short time period of time, they started stealing them and selling them. Because I'm like, how
my
do you
God,
lose
there's no way.
that many
5,000?
packages? So imagine them losing that, and I'm sold out. So I still have all those people that I need to fulfill.
Right.
And I'm like sending them emails. Do you want your money back? Or would this happen? Like I had to be honest.
Yeah.
And I had to stay in touch with them and let them know what was going on.
Because that's
and
tough.
as
You
long
can't
as-
get those bad reviews.
as long as you communicate with your customers, they are so understandable.
That's
like
a good,
they
valuable
really,
lesson.
They really
But the great thing
understand.
about that is like those customers, when she offered them their money back, or the new everybody said, look, send us the product. So they supported
They'll
us.
wait.
Yeah.
What's your
They'll
most
wait.
popular
From that.
product?
The vaginal rejuvenation and the
I can imagine.
energy massage oil. Yeah.
The what?
The vaginal rejuvenation for women and the energy massage oil for men.
Okay, massage. Okay, energy.
Uh-huh.
All right.
She likes, oh.
Grand made you a box.
You know
Himself,
what?
Listen,
custom
I
made.
Oh,
handmade
they got
that.
my name on it.
I handmade
Oh,
that.
I
He
love
handmade
it.
it. He handmade it.
Oh.
Yes.
No, she doesn't do this segment alone.
No, we have more.
I was
And that's what the girls was coming in with. You might have to
Herbal
text me
honey.
some-
I got my own
some-
honey
some
pack.
supervisors.
I saw your honey pack, Angela. I saw it
Yeah,
this morning.
so for men, our energy massage oil is our #1 top seller, the best seller. We made our first million within 12 months off of just the drop.
Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy. What do you like to use? What's your favorite product?
My
from
favorite
your
is the CBD vaginal rejuvenation, and I like
What does
our-
that do?
It gives you like a little tingling
A little-
sensation down there, like a little
Ooh.
icy hot feeling.
Okay.
It also
I don't know if this
tightens
is PG or
and make
not,
the
but-
vagina way more wetter, like super,
Okay.
but natural lubrication.
Okay.
Not just putting a lubrication on it. Actually produce your natural juices.
Okay. And what's your favorite product?
He's
Speaking
like,
to the mic. Go
I
more
know
to the
what
mic.
his is.
So you wanted to sit here, so now we got to
Yeah.
know. No.
Yeah.
Talking to the
Give him the
mic.
flow.
Picture of
Give
the
him the
spot.
flow.
So,
He great talking about the
Oh,
product.
Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna have to say
Talking to the mic,
I have
please.
two.
Okay.
I have two favorites. So I'm gonna start with our #1, which is our energy massage oil.
Mm-hmm.
So that a lot of men around my age, and I don't want to say it, today's my birthday.
Okay.
Oh,
Happy
So,
birthday.
thank you.
Hey. We got you some M&Ms.
Happy Wealth Wednesday.
Thank you. So a lot of older men, they especially African Americans, they're not aware about the erectile dysfunction, or they're scared to admit it. But trying these products, the energy massage oil, when I tell you, it is absolutely crazy.
Okay.
It is crazy. So
Now, what was the other one you were about to say? Because it felt like
that
you
was, that's
You said
easy,
two.
That's
Yeah,
easy,
you said
that's
two.
the easy one. But,
Okay.
the energy massage oil, not only does it give you stamina, you can grow from it as well too. You can grow 3 inches in 45 days.
What?
It really gives you a lot of girth. It makes it really heavy, and a lot of people don't believe it.
Then it's
Right.
natural.
So they try it.
You might have to hide that in
What
someone's
about your
lotion.
fiance? What is your fiance like?
What you like?
Yeah, what you,
The drop. Everywhere
Get
he
outta
go,
here.
he have
But-
the drops. Either his
We'll be using
like
the
Seale's
that.
drop.
about to
too.
really skyrocket, and so is your penis. No.
But if you mix, we have a combo, a bundle with the oil and the supplement. If you mix the two, because one is for erectile dysfunction specifically, and one is for growth and stamina.
Okay.
So if you mix the two, it's like Tasmanian devil. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, fun.
It's
Okay.
really crazy.
All right, we got to chat on the weekend.
Yeah. I'm gonna give me some
night.
stuff. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give me some
I
stuff.
So we
got
have you
something
some
for you.
stuff.
Okay.
Well, listen, I hate the fact that we have to go, but we got to get you back up some more. I'll give a review of my product.
Listen, you'll love it.
You know I will.
Yeah, I know.
You
We
know I
also
will.
want to give a big shout out to you started a foundation to help incarcerated women, a scholarship
Yes.
fund. Your giving back is huge to you.
Yes.
And I've also read how you are the face of your brand because you want to show young females that women can be entrepreneurs and be their own boss just by being who they are.
Yeah, because I think God chose me because of who I was. Because I wasn't holy and thou. I wasn't in the church. I was a regular girl that other people could relate to. So if they seen God save me, they know that it can happen for them also. So I give back because when you're incarcerated, you feel like, look, I'm going to come out a felon. This is the end. And it really could be the beginning. It doesn't have to be the end. And for me, that was my beginning. I lived a long life doing all kind of crazy things, but it was my beginning. And this life right here is different, and I'm loving it. I swear I love it.
And I know your sons are loving the fact that their mom
Ooh,
is
that oldest one.
a boss
Jesus.
like that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I know their
Thank
dad's
you.
trying to come back around.
Oh, man.
man.
Not gonna happen.
And we're going to have a lot more from you on Wealth Wednesdays for Entrepreneur Facebook group. We'll put the full interview and some of your stuff in there. Anybody join. It's a free resource, Wealth Wednesdays for Entrepreneurs Facebook group.
Well, thank you so much, Brooke. Thank you,
Angela.
Graham, for
Thank you
joining
so
us. We
much.
really appreciate you, and
Appreciate
happy
you
birthday
guys.
again.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.